Welcome to the party. No gossip, just saying with Jodi and Jenn.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to No Gossip, Just Saying. I'm Jenn, and today we are talking about something that's kind of complicated.
Yeah, I'm Jodi, and we're going to talk about women supporting women. This is the movement, the reality, and the gap between what we say and what we actually do.
Well, and to your point, here's the thing. Everywhere you look, it's women supporting women, girls support girls, empowered women empower women.
Yeah, the hashtags are everywhere, Jenn. But are we actually doing it?
Well, and more importantly, why does this seem to be difficult? Why are women sometimes harder on other women than men are?
Why the jealousy? Why is the crazy competition out there? And what about women rising up to power? Why does that trigger something in some women?
I think this is a really important episode because there's so much girl power, women empower women, but are we really doing it? I want to talk about what kind of gets us uncomfortable and clammy about this entire subject, because the scenes behind the reality is that we can actually do this better, I think.
Yeah, let's get honest. Let's get a little uncomfortable maybe, but I think it's necessary.
We preach it. We hashtag it. Do we practice it, people?
Yeah. So let's get right to it. Let's get in the jammies. Let's get the wine poured. And
Mine does sound like that. I know. Shh, don't tell.
It does sound like that sometimes, but whatever.
Yeah.
All right, let's start at the top. Let's start at the actual movement. Women supporting women is everywhere.
It absolutely is. Social media, too, has fueled the fire, don't you think?
Yeah, it is so everywhere. It's in your face.
It's like the rally cry. Like, it's the identity, right? It's like, it's trendy almost, right?
Yeah, but here's my question. Like, are we living it for real or is it performative? Like, everyone's a performer these days. So social media is all about publicity, getting out there, going viral. So is this intentional with purpose and conscious effort?
Right. Like, is it genuine?
Or is this performance?
Ooh, it's like performance theater, kind of. I think it's a little bit of both, right? But it's a really good question.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it is, well, I do think the intention is real.
Yeah.
But it's how it's carried out. Or is it, right?
Right. Like, why is it so hard to actually put this into practice?
I think the intention of women supporting women, it feels good, right? It feels good saying that.
Yeah.
But I do think that it exists because it makes us feel good.
Yeah.
And we don't actually do it. And then we find ourselves tearing other women down, not even realizing we're doing it. And I think that's where the problem is.
Yeah. So you end up judging each other, competing with each other.
Right.
Being jealous of each other's success, quite frankly.
Well, and let's take it a step further. Why are we naturally compelled to be jealous or be intimidated? You know why? It's because we've been judged so hard by society, by men, think about how we get ranked in our lives. We get ranked either by grades, by getting the job, by making the blah, 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 by, oh God, am I pretty? Oh God, am I not overweight? So I think we have so many additional pressures being women. And I don't mean to be like, boohoo, poor women. Okay, let's all have a good cry fest and drink wine. Yeah. But although sometimes that we need to do that. So if you think about why do women tear down each other? Why do we do this? It's not because we're trying to be mean. It's because I'm going to say it, comparative. And what are we comparative with? We're comparing ourselves against the X, Y, and Z, right? Yeah. Why did I not become homecoming queen? Why didn't I make the cheerleading team? Why didn't I make the soccer team? Why didn't I have all the friends? Why did she get the part? Why? I mean, it goes on and on and on. In fact, like, iconic movie, Barbie, right? America Ferrera says this epic monologue. So I won't read the whole thing. But in this character, it's like, you can be successful, but not too successful. You can be humble, but you need to show confidence. But don't be intimidating. Be thin, but not obsessed with dieting. Leaders, but be a leader, but don't be too leader. Like, be likable still. Like, mothers acting like they don't sacrifice anything. She describes how these are contradictory expectations and make women feel like they're almost failing all the effing time, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so you're right. I think it goes back to our upbringing, our childhood, our first experiences in school, where, we're coming from a day and age where the equality thing was just starting to happen.
Yeah. Oh, God. A
Quite
woman never
frankly.
asked out a man. God forbid. Now, like,
No.
if I were dating now, I would be all over that shit.
Oh,
I would do whatever the hell I want.
yeah.
Like, no rules. I can do what I want. I don't have to adhere to the rules, right?
Yep.
I think all of this goes into the way we innately compare ourselves to other women.
Yeah.
We don't mean to.
Well,
I think we're good-natured people. We don't try to, but it happens.
It happens. It's the strangest thing, this feeling. And I think one of the biggest overwhelming feelings is that jealousy thing.
Yes.
Where another woman is successful in something that you're also very good at. And even if you don't think you should have been that person in that role, whatever it might be, you still get this little pang of jealousy versus, wow, she knocked that one out of the park.
You're
She
competing.
did it.
You're like, well, I can do
Yeah.
that too. Like,
It's
what?
Yeah, there's all these different emotions that go through us that I don't think men experience as much. Or maybe it is that men can just roll through it. Maybe, again, it could be their upbringing where they've been taught to not feel and not emote and just get over it and move on. So it could go right back to that whole upbringing we came from back in the olden days of 30, 40 years ago.
I think it absolutely does. I think the honest truth is that women are just hard on other women.
Yeah.
And why? I mean, it's that's what's the uncomfortable part of this conversation. Why do we do it? And and you're right. We are the harshest judges on each other. And we've got to figure out how to let that go.
Right. It's like if another woman succeeds, it feels like, is there less for me?
Correct. It's is there less for me, and is it a zero-sum game? Like, if she won, do I get to win too? Because why don't I get to win? And what did she do that I didn't do?
Yeah. Yeah. And social conditioning, we're taught to compete, right? This is huge. This is like, we're literally raised to see other women as competition, right from childhood.
Let's talk about the science behind this. There's actually research that suggests women evolved to compete for resources.
So, like, what kind of resources are we talking about here?
Well, originally, it's, high quality mates. It's safety.
Ooh, that's
it's
back in the
food.
day.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Think about our DNA.
Oh, I need me a high quality mate over here. Right
I
now.
need a mate.
Oh, if only
I
could
need
find
a mate. Let's go, mate.
Oh, hey, matey. Where's my patch?
Oh, we became pirates again. Here's the deal, guys. There is research that suggests that women evolved to compete for resources. And what the hell does that mean?
Yeah,
well,
what kind of resources are we talking about?
Well, survival resources, right?
Okay.
So think about it. The major difference between men and women, and there have been so many published papers, there's many, many books written on this now, is that women, think about it. What was their role? They produced offspring, right? So you are going to look for, the leader in the village, or you're going to look for the person that provides the most security in the village, or the person that it's power, right? So you're going for the person that can protect you, because that's not your job primarily. That's not what we are genetically coded from, right?
Yeah.
Where men, what do? Men look for what you look like. Well, what does that translate to? What they really are doing is that they are looking for women and features of a woman that are in childbearing years.
Yeah.
And so
Exactly.
this is the biggest difference between, I can go and look for a mate if I'm a man because they're pretty, right?
Yep.
Here we go with all the judgment again, right?
Yeah.
And then women compete with other women just for protection and security, so they can actually have a mate to bear children. I know I'm getting kind of deep here, but there is amazing, amazing research on this whole entire topic.
There is. And then let's keep in mind, we don't live in caves anymore, right?
Right. So we've evolved. So what the hell are we still providing the same freaking rules? What? Yeah.
In theory.
In theory. Yeah.
In theory, we've evolved and this shit's still happening.
We've been socially conditioned to do this, right?
Yeah.
Literally raised to see other women as competition from childhood, right? Think about it. Who's the prettiest? Who's the smartest? Who got us to prom? Who didn't?
Who's the
all
best
that crap.
dressed? Who's the most popular? I know, it's always a ranking. Always comparing. Yeah.
Well, and then, it's adult, the adult way of, did you know who got into blah, blah, blah school and blah, blah, blah school,
Yes.
my so-and-so, then it's like, it's again,
Peer
we're stack ranking our
competitions.
kids.
Yep.
It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, constant comparison never stops. And we're taught that there's hierarchy, right? Some women are better than others. Some, that's where we sit. It creates this competition instead of collaboration.
Very well said. Ooh, what about this one too? The queen bee syndrome.
Ooh, what's this? Tell me.
Oh, come on. You know this. This is when the woman in the male dominated space becomes successful and that doesn't help other women rise.
Yeah. So she climbs that ladder and then pulls that sucker up right behind her.
Yes, she's threatened, so she doesn't align. So she's the only one that experienced the power. Again, it goes back to the zero-sum game.
Yeah.
I win, nobody else does.
Yeah. So it's like, why does this happen?
Well, I think, okay, I'll play the devil's advocate. I think she thinks, well, I've worked so damn hard to finally get here, right? And I'm the one that put in the time. I'm the one that did that, not realizing that other women probably also did the same things, but in their way, right? So you think about all the struggles, all of the dedication, all the discipline you had to get where you are. And you're like, damn it, I earned it. But again, it comes back to the zero-sum game because rather than aligning, they're intimidated. So it's all for me, right? It's always it's all for me.
Yeah. So she's worried that helping other women will diminish her power, right?
Yep.
It's exactly that. It's like there is more room at the top than just for one person, one woman. There can be more than one person up there. There's room for growth. And so there's mentoring. And, we say it exists and we hope it exists, but how do we support those other women that are coming up? And perhaps they are parallel to you. Perhaps they are as strong as you are. And why aren't we encouraging them to be successful and rise to that position as well? Because it's been a battle, you guys. I had a girlfriend that I grew up with who I am no longer in contact with at all because she self-isolated. She basically is an attorney. She grew up with us. We were all friends. We were all close. And then something happened in college when she was going through the practice of law. And then she started working. She completely was in a male-dominated field, even in we're talking the early 90s, late 80s. Believe it or not, it was still so heavily taken over by men that she became a part of that world and she got rid of all of us. She basically wouldn't acknowledge us when she came home to visit. She just self-isolated out of it. And I really believe she was a product of the environment of that. The only way she could become a really successful attorney in the firm, that whole look, the old boys club and stuff, was she had to become a part of it. And so she did. She sold herself out. And she, to the detriment of losing all of her childhood friends. And we're all still friends. We all still hang out together when we see each other. She's completely gone. Nobody even knows. How is she? What's going on? She just completely self-isolated. So that can happen, right? She got to the top of her ladder. She may have kicked other women off of it because she did. She got rid of all of her friends and now she just became a part of the boys club. And to her, that was success.
So I have a little bit different take on that exact, string of this, right? But my string was always okay, she's too much. She's over the top, so much energy, blah, 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 blah. That served me really well professionally. Mm-hmm. And I felt like I had a moving target on my back all the damn time.
Right.
And it sucked.
Yeah.
And honestly, after so many years of just I'm a ooey gooey soft caramel inside kind of person.
Right.
You would not know that if you just met me. You'd be like, wow, she's got all the confidence in the world. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, I don't, but I've lived with myself enough for 49 years that I am who I am. I'm not working through it. I'm finally getting comfortable with that. And I'm okay with that. Right.
Yep.
But I was the person who did have all the over the topness and I meant no harm by it. I was always genuine in my nature and approach to people.
Yep.
But women that did not have that perceived confidence the way they perceived me,
right.
I might as well have had daggers coming at me from them.
Well, that's true because
that's
women
crazy.
who ooze confidence get shunned
It
by
sucks.
other women.
It sucks.
And that's actually a really good point. And so now we're trying to say in society, let's accept those strong women for who they are and let's support them and lift them.
Yes.
But what are we really doing? Are we supporting them, or are we throwing them at, yo, girl, you're awesome? Or are we actually genuinely supporting them? You know,
there's a jealousy trigger here.
There's a jealousy trigger.
That's what's happening, I think. And listen, you guys, I'm not trying to be the girl like, you guys are just all jealous of me. No, like really, there's nothing to be jealous at except for a little weirdness over here, and I
love the weirdness,
and also like the smoky, raspy voice thanks to the allergy season, Yep. But it's true. Like if you are a dancer, if you grew up in the theater, if you grew up in a dance studio, if you grew up competitively, you have to put yourself out there all the time and perform.
Yep.
And it's not always a team sport. In fact, it's not really a team sport at all. Right.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of stand on your own island and be confident enough to say, yep, believe my bullshit, because I'm out here and I'm performing and I either want the job, I want the part, I want the something. So that takes an insane amount of confidence. And when children are taught that, I mean, that's not necessarily innate in children. But when you're in a type of sport like dance or acting or singing, you've got to exude confidence. And if you're taught that as a childhood, that is a secret weapon that you carry throughout your life that helps. But most people don't get that kind of equipment to use and to train with as you grow up. So now it's looked at as, ew, you're that confident, annoying woman. I don't like you, which really means, damn it, I want some of that. How did you get that?
Yeah. And how can we just be honest and say that?
Right.
I mean, I think it's far more attractive when somebody is just honest.
Totally. Genuine.
You look at this when you're talking about dance and you think about careers that are in the public eye. I'm sure, we have a lot of friends who work,
in the public
TV, on, influencers. We're friendly with a lot of these people, and the competition is fierce. These women got to the top of where they are because they had to be fighters.
Yes. They
had to be extremely confident women. They had to be comfortable in their skin. And now they embrace that. And it's, as you get older, I think you learn just by the nature of the experience of life, where you were just saying, for 49 years, I've been this, I accept myself for who I am. I think that also goes portraying it to other women. So, when I see women who are in those positions, I think they're amazing.
I thrive on being around strong women because they make me better.
Exactly.
Like I'm in awe of them usually.
I find myself listening to them more. Yes. And it's not that they're bragging about things. It's they're actually telling you facts. Yeah, if you stop and just listen to a really confident person, try to cut through that feeling of, I wish that was me, or I wish that was I was something different, or why can't that be me? They're not that great. Listen to what they're saying, because they've actually experienced it and gotten to that position for a reason.
Yes.
They're good at what they do. And so listening to what they say, you're going to learn something that might enable you to get to that next level. Listen to them, be mentored by them. It doesn't matter if you're the same age, if you're older than they are, if you're younger than they are.
That's a very good point about age discrepancy. It doesn't mean that.
Doesn't matter.
No.
There can be an immensely successful 30-year-old out there who I could be talking to and listening to their career success and fold over in honor, listening to what they're saying, because they know so much that I might not know even at my age.
Yep.
And I think, gosh, especially working in marketing, the evolution of marketing is
it's so fast.
Insane. And so when I'm talking to somebody, listening to Jessie and I are like mother-daughter age separation. And she comes up with these things that are so current and so new that my brain can't even keep up with, because I'm looking in another direction. But she's catching all the things that are happening in one way. I'm catching different things that are happening. And together we collaborate respectfully with each other in the same field. And guess what? That makes the product better. You guys, that's an example of the product being better because we collaborate and she takes what she knows and I take what I know, and together we make a successful, marketing package. We'll put something really cool out there because we collaborated instead of one person having to take the reins and go with it in a direction that they think they know is right.
Well, I think what you're saying is that this isn't a legacy for life, meaning like just because you're a legacy player and you've been here longer around the sun more times doesn't mean that they just only know and other people don't. And I think that's a big eye opener to say, I can still be teachable. I can still learn things. These are all marks of people that have been successful because they know that's what works. Okay, can I share a fun one that I have started doing in the past few years? And I learned this from a former counterpart when I was in sales. And it blew me away. And I don't know why it just had this a profound effect, but well, actually I do. Because I remember the way she made me felt one day. She said to me, she goes, "You're just so pretty. You're just like a gorgeous person." And I took that compliment like to,
well, thank you.
I mean, and of course I was being silly. I was like, no, well, thanks, Geraldine. You like being silly, because I don't know how to take a compliment.
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't say, "Oh my gosh, that's so nice." But you know what? I do two things. If I see somebody that I think is pretty, I tell them.
Yeah.
Like, what a simple thing to do. But that was something simple that my counterpart did and told me. And that she literally stopped me in my tracks and got me on my back foot. And I didn't know how to take it. So of course I was self-deprecating and was like, "Oh my God, you're so silly. Well, you're so," The second thing that I love doing is telling people like how great they look if I really see them. I'm like, "You are just killing it right now." Like I said that to some lady that was walking out of the Harris Teeter, and she was like, "Girl, you just made my day." And there you go. And I wasn't bullshitting them, but it's true. Like, we need to do a better job of that as women, even in our community, because if we do that, I think we do a pretty good job, by the way, in the studio. We do it a lot. But if we take that same genuine passion about looking at somebody and going, "Wow, you are just sparkly. Good for you." Like, that's just it's a huge thing that you can do, and it's simple.
Yeah, exactly. Women supporting women can't just be a cute little hashtag and a coffee mug.
It's true. Think about this. We have been trained by social media to be like, heart, like it, go girl. And like, we think we've done the job. We're like, okay, women empowering women. Yay.
Yeah.
I hearted you. I followed you. I did it. Like, empowering women is not just because you follow somebody.
Right.
It's not because you gave them a heart. It's not because you gave them a heart versus a thumbs up. Don't we all struggle with that one? Oh my God, do I heart or do I thumbs up? Do I look like I'm too desperate? Jesus, that's like a whole nother conversation.
I love it.
But seriously, I think that we are being conditioned as we speak to think, okay, well, I've done my empowering women thing, so I've hearted them. Great, it's good. And it's a bare minimum. That's exactly what it is. So let's talk about reality. What does this really look like when we say empowering women? Let's talk about some things that we can do and what we can literally put into our daily routines, whether at the studio or wherever we are.
Okay, first, let's talk about celebrating women's wins.
Okay, tell me more.
Yeah, like actually celebrate them, not just a quick Instagram like you were just saying. Not a, "Hey girl, I'm so proud of you." And like, I'm talking about if jealousy kind of pops up in the back of your mind, find a way to escort it out. Like, I see something, it happened, and I think, "Oh, wow, that's really cool. Oh, I could so have done that. That could have so been me." Kick the jealousy to the door.
Yeah.
Pause.
Take a pause and listen to your inner fabulous girl self.
Yes.
And say, "Okay, hold on, reverse that. I don't need that kind of speak in my head right now." Right?
Jealousy, here's the exit door.
Jealousy, here's the exit door. So, Jodi, you make a good point, but I do think that there is a difference between, you might not just agree with somebody. So let's make sure we understand what jealousy is, right? And it sounds like a silly thing to say, but there's some real work to be done here to understand what your brain is really saying, right?
Yeah.
There might be some people in the dance fitness world that I don't per se agree with, or how their approach or whatever lack their methodology is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I'm jealous or I'm jealous of them, I just don't agree with me. It's not for me, right? It doesn't serve me.
Right.
So, I back away from that, not because I don't want to watch them, but it doesn't serve anything I'm doing. It doesn't serve positivity and creativity and showing up for my people here and for all of you. Like it doesn't, and that doesn't make me jealous. It just makes me understand how to outlet my time better and what's really important for me to show up to, right? Does that make sense? I think jealousy is more when you find yourself being, I love this word, chippy. You're being chippy. You're like, oh, well, she's just, like, oh, look at her go with that crazy outfit or whatever. And then, like I do this, I'd be like, you know what? Shut the hell up. Like, dude, she's owning it. Like, you know what? It might not be for me, but like she's owning it. Like that's a difference between I don't agree with your approach or your method to work or how you're approaching your relationship. You know what I mean? Like that's a different thing, right?
So you're celebrating her win.
Yeah.
But it's just not your jam.
It's just not my jam.
And so it's okay to still follow them and hear what's going on in their world and being genuinely happy about their success.
Absolutely.
Even though it's a different world than you live in. And that's totally cool.
Yeah. Like I'll tell you right now, like there are, my algorithms on social media are hilarious. Like it's like dancers and dance teams and cats. Like kitty cats. Jesse's like, yep, I know. I see all of it. It's really weird.
That's so funny.
But there are people that like sometimes I will go, oh my God, he has how many million followers or blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And it's funny because do I do it to male dancers? No. Do I find myself sometimes I can do it to female dancers? Yes. And I'm like, and I find myself going, well, what does she have that I don't have? Like, and I am this exact script right now. Like, it's crazy. And then I say, and then I say, okay, but you know what? She is so freaking fun to watch. Oh, she's also, by the way, 18. So no contest, you win. I'm going to be 50.
So checking that jealousy at the door.
Yeah. And it's saying, okay, but what do I do like about this? Like, and I think that's also another really easy fix because jealousy can eat you alive and it makes you miserable. And there's just no time for it. And it's a skill that you have to train yourself if you find yourself going in those directions. I think you have to say, okay, I'm going to sit here and pick something apart and I'm doing it because I'm jealous. So why am I doing it? Well, tell you what, maybe you can find one thing that you do like, and maybe that starts opening up more things. You're like, well, that is good, and then maybe, God forbid, it might be kind of inspiring to say, maybe I do try that. Right? Think about that. Yeah, right? Yeah. Another really good idea too, I think, is to refer and recommend women. And this is where I think we shine, right?
Yes.
We really do. It's the person that says, oh my God, I love your hair color. It's great. Be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I go to this place and she just kills it. I love it. Right? Don't you feel like that you have a lot of those?
Absolutely. You know what? Over the course of the last 10 years or so, I went from having problem skin to really nice skin. And so I do get a lot of compliments on and so when people ask me, I tell them exactly what my skincare routine is.
So they can have it too. They can be beautiful and shiny and glowy too. Just the compliment that they gave to you. Like you can have it right back. You too can have this for $19.99.
Exactly.
No?
Literally.
Well, I know.
Yeah. And it is true. And so I'm happy to give products, whatever. So if I'm good at something, I'm happy to give a referral. And if you're good at something, I love it if you share it with me as well.
Yes.
Sometimes people are wearing like really cool, comfortable shoes or something looks like fun. Tell me where you got it from.
Yes.
Now then you get those people that crack me up. It's like Target $2.99, but you can't get them anymore.
Like I got them at the Dollar Tree.
Yeah, the Dollar Tree.
By the way, I love that store.
Dollar Tree's good.
The Dollar Tree is amazing.
The Dollar Tree.
Okay, so next up, and this is a big one. Yep. I love this one. Mentor and lift up others. Think about that. If you have
the opportunity to do that, that is gold.
I have to share like just such a warm fuzzy story about somebody at the studio that is a member, and I feel like we're watching her grow up in front of our very eyes. And you know who you are out there, and I love you so much. And she will tell you when you meet this person, she's like, "Oh yeah, girl, I got big feelings. I got super big feelings. I'm like all the feels all the time." And she is a larger than life character, right? Like she just is. And I have coached and mentored people a lot. right? All throughout my corporate career of 20 years. And listen, I guess maybe this is how I coach.
Yep.
And think about this, you guys. We coach naturally to the things that we have to work on. Why is that?
Oh, that is so true.
Because it's at the top of our minds. If we're having honest conversation with ourselves, right? It's a profound thought. You're smirking over there.
Large smirk happening
like
over
large
here
smirk,
right now.
large smirking.
Yes.
Back it up, large smirking.
Woo,
but it's true. Back it up like a Tonka truck. Oh, there's Rebecca. Rebecca jumped in just now. Back it up, back it up like a Tonka truck. Ooh.
She the best.
she the best.
You got to come here just for Rebecca.
Yeah, Jesus, Lord, Jesus, Lord, Mary and Joseph.
Yeah.
No, but it's true. Like so, this person, I just took I had just this huge like love for her, like just right after meeting her, because she is a ball of energy, and you can't teach that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but you just can't. Like,
oh no,
you can.
You're born that
I
way.
was always told this. You can have help and hold the racehorse's hoof or hand.
Oh, where are we going with this? Are we in a stable? Because I feel like we're in a stable. Get the hay, Jessie. Get the hay.
Let me rephrase.
Oh.
Wise people always used to tell me in my career that you can always dial the energy back, but you can't light a fire under somebody's ass to teach them passion and drive. It's true.
No, we need to know the horse thing.
Oh, you need the horse.
With the horse story.
You can always you can always tame a racehorse, but you can't teach a horse how to be a racehorse. Because it's hard. It's just a horse.
It's just a horse.
It's just a horse grazing, Jessie.
Grazing horse.
I guess it didn't really.
It's probably
come out
a little
that way.
overweight. Probably doesn't have the right shoes on.
She was hippie, okay?
It was a little hippie. Okay, I have a good one, and it's a tough one.
Go for it.
Calling out bad behavior. Calling out bad behaviors.
Ooh, that is uncomfortable, but it's so important.
Yeah, but you're in a room and you're with like 3 or 4 people, and 2 people are smack down taking somebody out with their words. And it's like behind them, and they don't know they're being talked about in this manner. And maybe you just don't agree. And even if you do agree, that is a really good opportunity to be able to stand up and say, I'm not comfortable with this conversation. You know, can we just change it? Or do you leave the conversation? So how do you feel? Like, what would you do? I feel like I'm kind of somewhere in between. When the conversation's going in an off direction about somebody, if it's really bad, I can walk away from it. I'll be like, I got to go. Or sometimes I will try and say something really positive about the person.
Yes, or at least neutral to neutralize it.
To neutralize the situation, because I just hate that talk behind people's backs.
It's gross. It's ugly. It's really, really an ugly quality.
Well, I try to picture myself being talked about like that.
Yes.
And I think, well, that wouldn't be very nice. Like,
isn't that like the first rule of girlhood? Like, if they're talking about this person, does this mean when I walk away they're gonna do it to me?
Yeah.
And when I say talk about, okay, let's get real here, people. We all know we all talk about each other because we're all interesting and we're interested in each other. Like, oh, did you see what so and so did? Or da 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 da. Oh, she killed it today. Like, yeah, that's just called interacting as a human being. It's a different thing when you're like, did you see what she had on today? Like, what the hell? Oh my God, who does she think? Like, whoa. Yeah. Or, God, what was up with her like resting bitch face today? Blah, blah, blah. I am the first one. I know I'm this because I feel like I'm not separate people but like, hey, bring it down. We're all good, but maybe it's the role of, I think she's just having a really hard day. That's why. And usually you will stop people in their tracks and they will reset because it's almost like an embarrassing thing.
Exactly.
Like, oh God, now I was ripping on somebody. I had no idea what was going on in their life. So that's a good one.
So it's a tough one, but learning to do the right thing, I think, and not fall into the game.
Here's another big internal one. Stop comparing yourself. God made you just the way you are, and that's what we want you as, right? Because here's the thing, like, Do you want a bunch of yous? Do you want a bunch of Jodis? Do you want only Jessies? No. This is what makes life so spicy and colorful.
Yeah.
And listen, it's really difficult sometimes as we age to get out of our own way and actually see things from a different perspective in a different life. Perspective change is what this is all about. Like, you are not supposed to be Jen. I'm not supposed to be Jodi.
Right.
Like,
this is not the Hunger Games.
This is not the Hunger Games.
Winner.
It's not a zero-sum damn game.
Exactly.
Seriously. I would also say what goes with that about, not comparing yourself to other women, also amplify other women's voices, right?
Mm-hmm.
So back somebody. If you hear somebody say something positive or like they're really passionate about it, be like, absolutely. Like give them that, hey, I'm checking in with you and I'm absolutely tracking with you.
Yeah.
Like, well said.
Yeah.
Like, I love that when people do that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm like the cheerleader when I do them. People look at me like, okay, we get it, psycho.
Yeah. And then, when judgment creeps in, they say something that maybe you don't love and you feel that judgment creeping in, stop and ask yourself why.
I would say this too. When you start really putting what we've talked about today in practice, you'll find that you naturally are leading people because you're setting an example for women around you. And that shit rubs off because, it feels good.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, do you know how good it feels to compliment another woman and for that woman to acknowledge it?
Yep.
It feels amazing, right? And what happens? You start building a community because people are talking, people are positive about each other, people are giving each other accolades. They're saying, hey, you did a great job. Hey, oh my gosh, you want to hear that more. You want to be around that more. And communities build, communities form.
Sounds
That's
a
the way
little
to
like
do it.
Dan's
Oh my God, shameless plug. What? Did we do that here? Actually, I have to brag on our peeps here.
Yeah.
Like, they are incredible. They are just incredible. But leadership starts from the top down. I've always been taught that. I've seen where it's crumbled.
And you practice it.
And I practice it.
You are practicing it.
Because I tell everybody this, I can't do this by myself. Like, this place doesn't run by myself.
Nope.
Classes don't run just from me. But if I lead by example, by doing the right thing and supporting women and encouraging them and encouraging them to be their best selves when they walk in here and out of here.
Yeah.
That's how it starts. The movement starts, right?
Yep, exactly. It's a daily practice. You choose to show up differently and you create a new normal where women can truly support each other.
Absolutely.
And I think that women supporting women is a beautiful idea, but I think we've determined it is hard to practice.
Well, and it's hard because we're not only fighting evolutionary instincts, what we talked about at the beginning, but we're being socially conditioned to, oh, heart you, great, awesome. But that's not really women empowering women and supporting each other, right?
Yeah, we're taught to compete, not collaborate, right?
Well, and let's be clear. Like, jealousy is real. You're not a bad person if you've been jealous.
It's part of the process. You've got to learn how to tame the jealousy. You've got to learn how to teach it to leave.
I think the bottom line is this: no competition. It's just communities, right? Communities are where people want to play and live and be around other people. Why? Because we're telling people how great they are at something or agreeing with such a great thing they're doing and supporting people, right?
We can all do better.
I know I sound like Tony Robbins, but honestly, like, this community is special that we built because of all of these practices.
Yeah.
And I feel like we started these practices from the very beginning and it made people feel good. And you know what happened? They started doing these practices.
Exactly. We celebrate women and they now celebrate women. And I think it's been a really good, encouraging, welcoming community that just sets the bar at a different level for women supporting women.
And we don't put up with bullshit. But you know what's so cool? We haven't had any bullshit because if we lead by example, the bullshit stays outside and everybody knows that. And everybody can feel it. That's what's so cool. And listen, if you're not part of our community, come visit us. We'd love to meet you.
Absolutely.
And if you are like, well, I'm not in Raleigh, what do I do? You get to go to www.danzandsanity.com, DANZ, because we're fancy like that, insanity.com. And you can hear all of our crazy silliness online. You can take classes with us. You can learn our steps library. You can do learn it classes. You can do everything. We have over 100 classes a week that are all different. Well, all right. I think that's a wrap, Miss Jodi, on this episode of No Gossip, Just Saying. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Make sure to hit follow and subscribe. And if you loved today's episode, leave a comment on YouTube or drop us a 5-star review on whatever platform you're listening on.
And until next time, no gossip.
Just saying.